With the Goblin project behind them, the Air Force now had a pretty good idea of what it was up against. So the next parasite attempt was built around a modified RF-84. Over the course of this project, the trapeze on the bomber and the hooking contraptions on the RF-84 went through several mutations. The motherships were GRB-36 bombers, but the purpose of the arrangement was reconnaissance. The system would allow for the jets to be carried long distances, sent in for high-speed missions over targets where the B-36 would have been a sitting duck, and then retrieved. The parasite could then be refueled by the B-36 and sent on another mission. In the early trials, even separating was difficult. But the process, called FICON for fighter conveyance, was actually adopted. 25 RF-84s were operationally linked with 10 adapted B-36 motherships. A FICON takeoff was rare. More commonly, the planes linked up in the air because carrying an RF-84 aloft meant the B-36 could not retract its wheel because the fighter's wings were in the way. Once again, the little plane's pilot was in constant contact with the trapeze operator inside the carrier. Adding the 1,100-mile radius of action of the RF-84 to the potential 2,800-mile ferrying trip made the concept very attractive. But the practical difficulties of the task argued against its permanent adoption into U.S. Air Force practice. The idea of operational parasites had posed heavy demands upon their designers. Even so, results had been surprisingly successful. McDonnell's Goblin, for example, was an overly ambitious project, but the company had performed a minor miracle in just getting it as far as it did. Two advances made parasite systems like these redundant. The jet age had grown rapidly, and the limitations of the early engines had largely been overcome. In addition, advances in electronic countermeasures and suppression were making long-range bombing operations relatively feasible again. FICON's reconnaissance roles and the implicit tactical nuclear weapons delivery the system could have allowed went to new planes designed specifically for those tasks.